Hey dudes, what's up? My name is Levante and this is Autistic Success. And today I want to talk about whether you as an autistic person, you should take a management role or not. The short answer is in general no. The long answer is there are a few exceptions or some caveat to that. So yeah, I would say in general no. Why? Because most management roles rely very heavily on soft skills, people skills, management skills, and this is in general not the area where autistic people really shine at. Even if you have very, very, very good social skills, some autistic people actually do. Even I consider myself someone who has really good social skills in general. I can socialize very well. In a management role, the problem is that you are not going to be able to show off even your social skills as an autistic person, because your job is pretty much to a large part is going to be always fire extinguishing for a company, or people pushing for the company, or micromanaging people for the company. So basically, you always have to push people, or you always have to work in a chaos or like danger mode pretty much for the company, which is just simply not the ideal work environment for an autistic person. In my opinion, it's not ideal for anybody, but especially not for an autistic person. And also another major reason is that because you have to work for people, your job is literally to manage, to push, to control, to check on people. You can never work in your own autistic bubble or a word, I would say. So for example, for me, it's really, really important. I can work hyper-focused if I'm in my own little autistic world, very, very focused, and I create very good output very quickly and super focused. But I cannot do that if I have to work with others on a daily basis, and my job is literally to talk to them and to push them and to control them and to give them tasks. So I am actually not doing anything, but I am trying to make other people do something. So this is why in general I think no, it's not a good idea, because you're not going to be able to show off your talents. You're not going to be able to work focused or alone and focused. And your major tasks, like people pushing, controlling, simply delegating tasks, that could actually work to some extent. They're not going to be very satisfactory, because you will always feel that at the end of the day, you're not really achieving anything. And even if you have very good social skills, you are not going to be necessarily be able to use them, because you will have to stick to very strict company guidelines and rules and policies, and basically you will always have to wear a corporate mask, a corporate persona. You even if you have good social skills, you cannot use your own social skills, but you have to use your own use social skills which correspond to the company policy of, let's say, communication. So no, I would say in general not, but I said I have an exception, and there is an exception. It could work if the company gives you very high level of flexibility to shape your team, your department, your lab, or whatever you're managing. This might also include actually the people who you work with or who you manage. So to pick your team, this is very rare, but if you can do that, then it can work, or it could work. So this is the only part actually which I enjoyed in my corporate jobs. I have been to 2 corporate jobs. At both of them, I had management roles where I managed lab technicians, like 3 to 5 employees. And I enjoyed really much the part where I had to create a work environment and set it up for them, set up the rules, set up the whole structure and the whole atmosphere. I really loved that, because I really loved creating an environment which was really friendly, which was professional, which was mutually cooperative, which was not like this slave master mentality, but it was really based on me delegating professional tasks, they carrying out the tasks, and then a high level of freedom for me and also for them, while the whole machine, the whole structure is running well. This is the part which I really enjoyed, and this is where I was also good at, but I also really love this. So this is the part, if you can extend this and maintain this over the long run, and you have high flexibility, then it could work. I would say this mostly translates to like technical management roles, like let's say managing a laboratory or some technical team. This could actually work, I think, for an autistic person. But why I would still say in general no is because it's very rare that you can maintain your little autistic word bubble and team within the company, because eventually you're going to have issues and you're going to have some political debates and problems with other departments or other managers or even your employees. Basically, they will be freaking out that you are doing things very, very differently compared to any other manager, and it might just scare them. So eventually, I think it's not really stable to keep up such an autistic bubble in a corporate structure. If you can do that, so if you are in a position where you have a huge level of freedom and you know that you can create and maintain such an autistic bubble, especially in technical field, it could work. Yeah, it could work. That's an exception, and you might even enjoy it actually. But in general, what I've seen also in my experience, in my career, in the corporate places I worked at, it's eventually going to either collapse or going to be simply not really tolerated by the company that you are doing things differently, or that you are, let's say, giving people a lot of freedom, or you're giving yourself a lot of freedom because your team is working efficiently. So eventually it's going to be like a alien cell in the body of corporate, and they're not going to tolerate it very long. So eventually it's going to come down crashing. So I didn't want to talk too much today. This was the idea, and my answer to the question is no. As an autistic person, you should not in general take a management role. You're going to be frustrated and never really satisfied, and never really feel that you have achieved anything professionally, because you are just going to extinguish fires and push people. So no. But if you have the high level of flexibility and freedom for a company, that you can create a little bubble, like an autistic bubble, there it could actually work. But it's an exception more than the rule. So that was it for today. I am really keen on hearing your opinion and experience about autistic management roles, and whether you have done it or you want to do it, and if you have done it, how it was. Yeah, that was it for today, and I guess see you in the next one. Bye bye.